is Mark Martin. It appears, again, as if he is closing in on Dale Earnhardt. You told us, Vinny, when you talked to Jack Roush that they were going to go for it all the way, and you would think that Mark Martin is saying to himself right at this moment, if I'm going to win, I'm going to have to do it right now. Let's see what happens. He is making a race out of it. He may make a bid for the lead here in just a moment.
Here he goes on the inside.
Into turn number 3, Mark Martin pulls alongside Dale Earnhardt, the crowd on his feet here in the main straightaway, cheering. They come off of the fourth corner side by side. Mark Martin may have him at the line. Oh, is close. Let's see how they shake out going into turn number 1. Dale Earnhardt, relentless, will not give up the lead. Mark Martin wants it very badly. Martin is on the inside. He is hungry for his first Winston Cup win. They're still side by side, locked together.
Ooh, and Earnhardt goes back, but Martin's going to come back on the inside. Earnhardt really drives it in the corner extremely hard. He might have touched that time coming off turn 4, might have swapped some sheet metal.
Earnhardt and Mark Martin slugging it out for the lead here in the closing stages of the Peak Performance 500.
And you wonder if Earnhardt learned anything there. When he went high, he was able to come on back and pass Mark back or get back in front of him. He might have found himself a groove up there that's going to work for him. And look, they do touch as they come off of that turn. That breaks Martin's car loose a little bit, just enough to get Earnhardt back out in front.
Martin laid down some tire marks on the racetrack. Now we still see Martin battling to the inside of Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, Earnhardt's trying to use that high groove. He said, hey, if I can stay out in front of him, but it gave Martin the opportunity to move on the inside. But what does it do as they come off of the turn? It looks like Earnhardt has the bite.
14 laps to go. 14 more circuits on the 1 mile, monster mile at Dover.
Mark's been on the inside of the racetrack. He's getting that right front just a little bit too hot. And so then when he really needs to bury it down in there, the right front won't stick. It slides across the racetrack. Earnhardt, meanwhile, up on the high grooves, keeping all 4 tires cool. And when he needs it, he's able to really bury her down in the corner.
Mark Martin was second at Dover earlier this year. He was second at Watkins Glen. He was second at Darlington. Will he be second here today, or can he win his first Winston Cup event? We'll be back to answer the question after this. We are back live at Dover Downs International Speedway in Delaware for the last 9 laps of the Peak Performance 500. It's still a shootout between Dale Earnhardt at number 3 and Mark Martin at number 6. Martin makes another run at his Strollite Ford down the backstretch into turn number 3. Does he have Earnhardt this time? No, he can't hold on to the lead.
Earnhardt goes high. Here comes Mark back on the inside.
Mark Martin is so close to winning his first Winston Cup race. You know that he's going to do everything he possibly can in the last 8 laps to make sure that he has the victory, but he's got the Winston Cup points leader to pass and take the lead from that, of course, Dale Earnhardt.
We saw the right front tire on Mark Martin's car smoke again down in turns 1 and 2. That's what's happening. He's getting his car on the button. That time the right rear smoking as he comes off. Almost lost it coming off the corner.
7 laps to go, 493 complete.
Boy, he's giving it everything he has, but each time he slips a little bit, that's heating those tires up a little bit more and working to Dale Earnhardt's advantage. Although Earnhardt's smoking the tires a little bit too. But he's running a straighter line than Mark Martin is. When you're in the lead, you can do that.
Tire smoke again from Mark Martin's car with 6 laps to go now.
Mark Martin moves up the racetrack. The car will get a better grip up there. That'll cool the tires off and get him ready for that last charge. Looks like he's going to have to run just a couple more laps, get the tires cooled off. About 497, we're going to see a real charge, Bob Jenkins, I predict.
Coming up to 495, 5 to go at Dover. Earnhardt leads Mark Martin.
Earnhardt moves it down to the low side going through turns 1 and 2. That has worked well for him most of the day. He'll let it drift up a little higher. He goes in low in turn 3, but watch him drift up a little higher as he comes off of turn 4.
496, 4 laps to go at Dover.
It may be that Martin has used his tires up trying so hard to get by Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt was running high on the racetrack keeping his tires cool. Now he's moved on the bottom of the racetrack and seems to be getting a very, very good balance.
3 to go. Dale Earnhardt still maintaining that lead, and he appears to have things pretty well in hand at the moment. Earnhardt has won 37 Winston Cup races in his career. Mark Martin has won none. Dale Earnhardt has won once here at Dover, and he has won 3 times this year in Winston Cup competition. 2 more laps to go. The next time they'll get the white flag. Martin appears to be closing in once again, making the final charge.
He's moved down. He can't wait any longer. He's moved down on the racetrack. He's going to use everything he has in the last lap and a half.
Mark Martin comes in within 2 car lengths of Dale Earnhardt as they both move off the 4th corner and get the white flag from Harold Kinder. 1 more lap to go. Can Mark Martin pull off the win, or is Dale Earnhardt going to hold him off? They move both low into turns 1 and 2. Mark Martin within a car length now as they go down the backstretch. He'll have to make the move soon if he's going to do it. He's still about a car length behind. They move into the 3rd and 4th corners. Dale Earnhardt has things in hand. Here they come off the 4th corner. A little bit of smoke from Mark Martin's car, but he's not going to do it. Dale Earnhardt wins the Peak Performance 500 with Mark Martin finishing a close second.
Wow, what a race. Woo.
Here comes a battle between the number 10 and 15 cars, and it is for 8th and 9th position. Gary Cope winds up in 8th, and Brett Bodine in 9th position. That was indeed a battle for position between Cope and Brett Bodine. There's the 3rd place finisher, Ken Schrader, moving underneath. There goes Jeff Bodine by. Dale Earnhardt appears to be well on his way to a Winston Cup championship. Jack Arute in the winner's pit.
Well, Richard Childers, congratulations. You guys gambled a couple of times during this race.
Yeah, Jack, it was a great race. You know, first of all, we got to congratulate Mark Martin. He really made Dale earn it out there, and Dale done a great job for us. But Mark and Jack Rouse and those guys done a super job, and they'll win their races. But boy, we're tickled with ours today.
Hey, a lot of people have got to go back to when you decided to only put 1 tank of fuel in and gamble on the tire wear and get your car back in the right position, back out front.
Well, we knew that's what we had to do, was try to make up the time in the pits and try to make it up with 4 fresh tires. And, you know, we told Dale to go as hard as he could, and he did. That's how we made up our time.
Sometimes it helps when you're a former race driver. That's the case with this car owner.
So Dale Earnhardt wins an exciting Peak Performance 500 Winston Cup race here at Dover Downs International Speedway. We'll be back to talk with him in just a moment.
A little better than you were a week ago. A big cold drink of Gatorade and a big smile on your face. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the good Lord for a safe race. Say hi to the kids back home. You know, these guys did a good job with this car. Jim Goodwin's Chevrolet run real good. We're quite as dominant as we were in the spring, but we're pretty tough. Mark run me real hard there at the end, and you know, I was really worried about him. He'd make a run at me 1 or 2 times, and I just tried to run a good tight line, but I was trying to run hard as I could too. He run me real hard.
Were you concerned that he may have a little something left on the inside of the racetrack? Your car moved up high, and you seem to be able to have a better groove those last few laps.
Well, I was trying to cool my tires where I could run a low run or 2 at the end. I could run faster on the bottom if I could use the throttle, but if you stay down there 4 or 5 laps, it would heat up and you'd have to back off for the tires. So I was trying to run up a lap and cool them and then run back down a lap and get some distance. And I could make him lose a little when he'd get under him and heat his tires up, and I just sort of kept him at bay. And he raced me good. He didn't get rough or nothing. It was a good race.
Dale Earnhardt had 2 goals today. One was to win the Peak Performance 500. Another one to extend that Winston Cup point lead. He accomplished them both. Let's go to Jack Arute standing by with Mark Martin.
Well, Jerry, one driver that still has a goal to win a Winston Cup race, but boy, you came so close today, Mark Martin.
Well, it really was. You know, when we caught up to Dale and he started slipping up in the middle of the corner there, I said to myself, well, he's going to be a tough guy to pass. You know, he was a true sport. I mean, I worked my way underneath him several different times. He gave me room. I mean, if I'd have had the race car to beat him with, we'd have beat him, you know. And
where were you short?
The bottom groove really wasn't the best groove for a loose race car. And our race car was a little bit loose. We had worked on it all day. We were real happy with it, but it was the best on the long greens. I always got outran for a short period of time after we put new tires on. And the best chance we had of beating Dale and those guys was a long green. Not getting that last caution, I think we could have done it, but congratulations to the whole Earnhardt team.
Well, you can be sure that sooner or later this guy's going to make it to victory lane. It wasn't today, guys.
But Mark Martin sure gave it everything he had. This is just one way and one time when he got the car sideways coming off of corner number 4 in his desperate attempt to catch Dale Earnhardt, but he did not. The Winston Cup points, well, Rusty Wallace now is 102 behind. Mark Martin remains 3rd and Darrell Waltrip 4th. There are the top 5 finishers. Ford, Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, Jack Arute, and Dr. Jerry Punch. We thank you so very much for being with us this afternoon. For now, this is Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.